Yeah. What's going on, good friends? This is MC Till with everybody's Hiphop Label. You are tuned in to the Boom Bap Chat, number 60 tonight. So that's exciting. It's also exciting because we have about 50 people in the room tonight, and we're going to introduce all of them in just a moment. Before we do that, though, as always, if you are in Cincinnati, we invite you to come on over to Everybody's Records in Pleasant Ridge. They have CDs, tapes, books. They got everything over there. They might even have some Scribbling Idiots albums over there. You never know. And if you can't get over there, they do. There you go. Wonder Brown confirmed it. So make sure you check them out. If you can't come to Cincinnati, just check them out online, everybody'srecords.com. Support them. They always support the local music scene, so we try to give back. Tonight in the room, we have the Scribbling Idiots. There's a bunch of them. We're going to introduce each one of them. Before that, let's introduce the hosts that are in the room tonight with us. With the Wu-Tang in the background, we have Profound. Profound, what's up, man?
What's good? You know how we do it. What's cracking, everybody?
What up, though?
Living well. We also, as always, we also have IOMOS MARAD. What's up, IO?
What up, though? Peace. Glad to have my brother in the place to be, ironically.
Yes, indeed. Also in the room, in the background, lurking as always, we have Neville. What's up, Neville?
Peace. I'm feeling the energy.
I feel that. And tonight, our part-time co-host is back with us. We have Joe November. Joe is with us. What's up, Joe?
What's up, fellas? What's good?
Good to have you. All right, tonight's guests, there's a bunch of them. I think we've confirmed there's at least 10 of these guys across the world, and we are honored to have 5 of them, plus a friend, so that's awesome. So starting first with Kaz Meta. Kaz, how are you this evening, my friend?
How y'all doing? I'm good, man.
Glad to hear. And Kaz, let's tell us where you live. Where are you living these days?
Greenfield, Ohio.
Ohio in the place. We also have Motion Plus. What's up, Motion? Where are you?
Well, yo. I am in the wastelands of Quincy, Illinois.
Quincy. Good to have you, my man. We also have Zoe Nichols out and about on location tonight. What's up, Zoe? Where are you?
What up, man? Hey, right now I'm in Defiance, Ohio, man.
Defiance. Nice. Love it. Just Me is in the building, or I should say in a lovely house with drapery in the background. Just Me, what's up with you, man? How are you? Where are you?
What's up? I am in G-Town, Kentucky.
G-Town. Right on. We also have Theory Has It here. What's up, Theo? Where are you?
Do I really have to tell you where I am?
No, you don't. I mean, if people are going to come get you or whatever.
I'm in the house. That's like, that's none of y'all business where I'm at, yo. I'm in Central Washington, though.
Looks like you're in the lab.
I'm in Ellensburg, Washington. You know what I'm saying? Portland based, but, Ellensburg for now. So
Right on. Also in the house, we have the one and only Wonder Brown. What's up, Wonder Brown? You see that you're traveling a little bit. Where are you these days?
What's good, baby? I'm wherever the fuck I be. How about that?
There you go.
Cincinnati.
Hey, another Cincinnati. All right, right on. And we also have ironically.
Is this G rated, by the way? I'm sorry. Is this G rated? Should I step back?
Yeah, you should repent right now.
I apologize.
No, I'm just kidding. No,
okay.
It's not. You can say what you got to say. We also have a friend of the idiots, a friend, Ironic Lee. What's up, Ironic Lee? How are you?
What up, though?
And where are you? Can you reveal your location?
Yes, Detroit, Michigan, the one and only.
Detroit, right on.
Oh,
very good. Well, these guys, the Scribbling Idiots tonight on the show. Man, how can you tell us the story? Yeah. Welcome. Yes. I don't know who's clapping.
It was so many of them.
So many of them. That's right. I believe what I've heard is that Kaz and Just Me were the two that kind of got this group together. Just Me, can you confirm that?
That is true.
That is true. Can you tell us were y'all just like thinking about like, hey, let's form a group and just like you picked random people? How did it come about?
So I met so I went up to Scribble Jam and rolled up there with my boys Deacon and No from Cunning Linguists, and I was hanging out because Marzil and Listener from Deep Space 5 had a booth up there, and I knew those guys. We go way back, and so I was hanging out at the booth, and Kaz walked up and was talking to Listener, and then Listener was like, "This is Just Me from Soul Seekers," and then Kaz kicked one of my raps back to me, and I was like, "I like this guy." So we linked up. He was I had just moved out here from Cali, so he was like, I can hook up some shows and stuff if you can help me record. So that's kind of how he started off, was like I was helping him record music, and he was linking up shows, and then kind of in the process of that, we were like, we should do a project. And then it went from like, we should do a project to we should form a crew. And so it's kind of, and then it just got out of control. So
Okay, is that your how you say that word?
Recollection.
Is that your recollection, Kazmeta?
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
Dope. All right, so then there's other dudes here. Let's start with Motion Plus. How did Motion Plus get down with the Scribbling Idiots?
I begged them to let me join. I said, please, Kazmeta.
It was dope.
Please, Kazmeta, let me be. No, if you guys remember, I'm gonna date myself a little bit, but there used to be a forum called Hip Hop for the Soul. You guys remember that? So I was on the forum for Hip Hop for the Soul, just trying to get my feet wet in the, like get my music out there. And Kazmeta was selling some beats, and so like I was in need of beats, so I hit Kazmeta up, and basically we started just to chat on the phone, and he decided that, in doing all this chatting, we decided we was going to make an EP together. If I remember, that's correct. And then while he came to Quincy to do the EP with me, and basically it was him and whoever talked within the crew, because I was one of the later members. And they talked, and it was like, yeah, let's put Motion in. So I was like crazy blessed by that, because that's all I wanted to do was be in a crew. And I was definitely, Scribbling Idiots to me was going to be the next dope, you know what I mean? So it was like, it was a no-brainer. I was flattered that they asked me, for real.
Yeah. So you said you were one of the later additions to the crew.
Well, I don't know. I don't think I was I don't know. It's the original group. The original group was Kazmeta, Just Me. Caboose was in the group back then.
Oh,
and me and
Caboose.
Yeah, me and Caboose was really, really good friends. And then I know that Theo got in before me. I'm sure Wonder Brown did, and I think Zoe did too. As far as everybody else, I think that Mattman, I mean, it takes Kaz and Justin really know it, but I think Mattman was already a producer. I think they were already messing with Reflex. So I very well could have been one of the last members to join, for real. But it all came together really quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was signed to Syntax at the time, Syntax Records. And so like they already kind of had a deal with Elect as well. So it wasn't like it was weird. We had like affiliates at that time, right? So it was like I was a Scribbling Idiot, but I wasn't necessarily the core group that was like on the Elect release. You know what I mean?
So of the faces here in the Zoom tonight, who was one of the earliest members? So it was Just Me, Kazmeta,
Caboose,
who else?
And Zoe.
Zoe.
And Zoe Nichols.
Yeah.
So how did Zoe Nichols enter the equation?
Yeah, man. I mean, I guess, Kaz will confirm, but honestly, out of nowhere, I was living in South Carolina at the time. I was living in Charleston. I was had an apartment up in North Charleston, and one day I was just sitting there writing on the balcony, and I get a call out of nowhere, and it's Taylor, it's Kaz. And, at that moment, I was linked up with a DJ in Charleston DJ Curfew at the time, because I didn't have any community and I needed community. So I gravitated toward DJ Curfew to do shows and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it was awesome. It was out of nowhere. It was like an angel. And it was like perfect time. I was receptive. I was young, you know, and I could hear the heart behind the call, you know, and my man was like, yo, this is what's going to happen. And he was telling me what was going to happen. He's like, I'm going to send you these beats and I'm going to send you a record. And he's like, you listen to the beats. And he was like, and I'm going to tell you what to do next. You know, I'm going to let you know what concept you're going to do, what we're going to do next. And we're going to start to form some shit. And I was like, let's do this, bro. Let's do it, man. So it was at the right time. I had just flown back from recording with the Tunnel Rats in LA. It was cool timing. It was like a really cool time. Linked up with Syntax through all of that moment when I was down there. It was pretty cool. But yeah, it was awesome. That's how it came. That's how it came about.
Yo, that's dope. That's super dope. And theory has it in Wonder Brown, I feel like the two of you knew each other prior to Scribbling Idiots. Is that true?
That is correct.
Cool. Theo, can you tell me your first memory of Wonder Brown? Because I'm sure it's a good one.
I mean, it's not funny, but you know, I just like, I was working on this mixtape, and that's the funny part. Like, I was doing a mixtape, and we was just like rapping to other people's beats, and I met him through a mutual friend. I had his name was John. Shout out to John.
Shout outs.
He was coming over to record for like a mixtape, and then like his second or third time coming, he brought Jamie over. He brought Wonder Brown over, and I threw on a beat. I know Wonder Brown. He was like mad skeptical. He was just like, yeah, you know, just like waiting for the whack beat to drop or something. And I threw on like some J Live or something like that, and it was like an instrumental, and he went crazy. I was just like, oh. And then I found out he lived down the street from me, and the rest is history, really.
Yeah.
Is that how you remember it, Wonder Brown?
That's exactly how I remember it. Matter of fact, here's the funny part. John was a young guy who I had been mentoring. I was skeptical to mentor. He hit me up. He goes, I'm rapping. I gotta drop some raps for this guy. And I go, yeah, whatever. He goes, no, for real. This guy is right up your alley. And I'm like, there ain't nobody that has the hip hop knowledge that I have in the city of Cincinnati, period, bar none. I don't want to hear it. He goes, will you just come and pick me up and then like take me to the studio? Will you please do that? And like, this guy, you know, is a guy, honestly, that society had sort of left behind. And I really had a big heart for him. I was like, yeah, I'll come pick you up. So I come pick him up. He lives in Lincoln Heights. So I go pick him up in Lincoln Heights, and my mother lives in Liberty Township. I pick him up at Lincoln Heights, and he's like, yeah, take this right, this left, this right, this left. I'm like, I'm going home. What the hell are you doing? You know, just thinking in the back of my head. It's right down the street from my house. We go to the door. He goes, oh, I left something in the car. I go, okay, here's my keys. Go back to my car. I open the door, or I'm standing at the door like a dumbass by myself. And Theo opens the door and he goes, hello? And I go, yeah, hi. he goes, how do I know you? And I go, I don't know. I'm here with John. He goes, no, I know you. I like, nah, do you play hoops? I play basketball throughout the city. He was like, no, I don't play any sports. I'm like, well, you don't know me. And that's how the first time I met Theory Has It.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
As they say.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, tonight is about you guys, about the Scribbling Idiots. But we do want to know who Ironic Lee is. He is in the building. So, Ironic Lee, what is your connection here to the Scribbling Idiots?
Outside of just being a fan, that's it. Like I said, we I met Theory Has It years ago. He was on a mixtape for Mahogany Jones. We did a mixtape called the Gathering mixtape. That was our first interaction.
Mahogany, what's up?
Yeah. That was our first interaction. And then from there, just been following, been a fan. I think like Mahogany went down there to Cincinnati to kick it with Theory and K Drama. This was years ago.
I was there too. I was there.
Oh wow. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so it's so just like I said, just kind of watching just the journey and everything and whatnot. So that's it. Like I said, when I saw Theory posted it and I'm like, yo, then Io was like, oh yeah, Scribbling Idiots gonna be on. So I'm like, yo, send me the link. And so,
Right
so I'm just here to soak it in.
Right on, man. Glad you're here. So there's a connection that I think might have been made tonight for the first time. I think Joe, November, and Theory Has It. Yeah. Did you know each other before tonight?
No, no, but he did contribute to the Respect beat that we did together.
The tribute to Redman.
Yeah,
okay. That was dope. But y'all have a connection. Y'all have a connection through your cousin, right, Joe?
Yeah, my cousin Natty from Cunning Linguist.
Oh yeah.
I'm from Lexington. He's from Lexington.
Wow.
And yeah, so you obviously know him, and Just Me knows him as well.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, that's not a connection. It's just y'all. That's everybody.
Yeah, that's everybody. That's what I'm saying. Everybody knows him.
But I mean, but Theo, don't you have a connection to Natty through your daughter?
Yeah, I mean, my daughter used to babysit for Natty, but
crazy.
Before that, it was like Deacon's dad or somebody from Deacon's family used to go fishing with my grandfather. So,
oh wow,
yeah,
that's wild. That's crazy.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I didn't. This is I didn't know who Cunning Linguists were at the time either.
Right.
So, but yeah.
Well, now we got all the connections in the room all figured out. Profound, Neville, IOMOS. I have questions here, but anything that jumps out to you that you want to ask about?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. Not yet.
You're good. You're good. Cool. So first question, who's the most annoying member of the Scribbling Idiots?
I am.
Oh, the self-selected Wonder Brown.
I am.
Can we get a second on that?
I'm not gonna argue.
I'm not.
I have hold on. I have my douchebag moments, so I could be a douchebag.
Same.
But Joe, some of you
feels like an addictions meeting.
Man, there's some personalities in this group for sure.
Yes, and I've gotten to know some of those personalities over the years, and especially Wonder Brown, because he and I did some touring together. So, but I am curious to know. I mean, it's a fun question, but I'm curious to know, like, with all those different personalities, did you have moments where you're like, this group is done? I'm packing my bags, or I'm kicking this guy out, or can you tell? Have you had moments like that?
Hold on. Justin,
be honest, Nick.
Before everybody else talks, I want Justin to say something, and I want Cass Meta to say something. Justin, start.
So, one, yes, and without getting into like too much, like you can get real personal on some of this.
Yeah, you don't have to be personal. You don't have to go there.
But we can have. I mean, we've definitely had early on. We had moments where we couldn't find Zoe, so that was early on. He would show up to the show and he would just bolt, and we would just be like, "Oh, we'll find him before we get on stage." And but on our last tour, and this is never like, so there's never like, oh, somebody's gonna get kicked out of the group or something. But there's definitely been moments where like, I don't know if we're gonna be able to do this next show because of what happened at the last place. So on our last tour, there was some miscommunication where Theo and I and my wife were dipping to go to dinner, and it was probably the way I worded it. I was like, "Yo, we're gonna go to dinner, and we're not coming back to like hang out here. We were in Columbus, and we were like, we're not coming back, is what I said. Like, and I think, and Wonder took that as, oh, you're not coming back, so I'm like on my own to get back to the hotel. And we went back to the place to pick him up, and he wasn't there. And then we started driving towards the hotel, and Wonder Brown had mobbed, like, he was miles away from the venue and really close to the hotel. And I won't go into all the details of that, but like, we definitely had like moments.
All right, Casmeta, you were told to speak next, so.
Yeah. Oh,
Wonder Brown.
I mean, like you said earlier. Yeah, there's Wonder Brown, Brother Dark. Yeah, I mean, there's like Justin said, so I know myself, I can be a real anal prick sometimes. So these guys, and to be a quote unquote leader of guys who are older than me, everybody in this room is older than me. Okay? So, to be a leader of guys who are older than you, it can be challenging for them and for me. We'll just say that sometimes, but it always works out. I mean, it's that side for life regardless. They're my brothers. So brothers fight, but it ain't no big deal. Like, I don't think anybody takes it too personal and holds on to it too long. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So. Zoe Nichols, your name was called out there saying that you would just disappear at moments.
Yeah.
Do you want to deny or confirm this allegation?
Yeah, I mean, I would dip out because I'd go in my little Zen moment and I'd disappear. And I know that they would be like, yo, we need to like practice this shit. Like, we need to get this shit together. Like, where the fuck is Zoe at? I'll kind of dip out. I breathe, I take a breather, I do a mantra. I would just walk off. I would, I just be in my own, I'd be in my own zone, just in my own mind, thinking about life and shit. So stuff like that would happen. I mean, to be quite honest, I mean, like, sometimes I would dip out and meet people. Sometimes I would dip out and meet people in cities that were my friends. Different girls, definitely. I would have to, dip out and handle business and then get back with my guys real quick. And that's kind of like a lot of the time what I would do.
Yeah. Now Motion Plus, you want to say
something? Which is a bad thing. And I'm sorry for dragging that story out, but it's a bad thing. It's not a good thing. You got to be there for you guys. You got to be there on time. You got to be dependable. You got to, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, I want to get back to that point because that leads to something else. But Motion Plus, you threw your finger up. What's up?
Yeah, just real quick, man. First of all, I love these brothers to death, right? But 2013 one-way tour, me, Casmeta, Zoe. I thought they was gonna kill me, man. For real. like I was the worst during that time. I was in a dark period of my life. And I think me and Zoe bumped heads every single day, man. But, and then Kaz, he was just tolerating it. But, like every single show, though, that we got, with all that tension behind the scenes, every single show we rocked it. And we was one unit, and it was dope. It was just that,
none of that mattered to me as long as we delivered a good.
Yeah, I mean, me and Zoe probably was gonna box on a couple occasions for real. but it was like it's still love. And then when we all came together, like one night, I remember it very vividly, man. Like we rocked the show in Lexington, and it was at a church. Can't remember what it was called, but it was a big crowd, man. And like I was just like overstepping my bounds through the whole show in the sense of like trying to get the crowd hyper than they needed to be and this and that. And just like overdoing it. And I remember being in the car. I remember being in the car and like Justin and everybody just like it hurt me. Don't get me wrong. Like it hurt and I was in my feelings about it, but they gave me an attitude correction. You know what I mean? Like they put me in my place, and I was salty. You know what I mean? It was definitely saltine crackers in my mouth, but it was like what I took away from it is like we all would bump heads, but it was truly like brotherhood. Like you knew what it was. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't all beautiful, but it was beautiful what we did on the stage together, and then off the stage, even though it was like a lot of issues going on, there was never no doubt that these weren't my brothers. You know what I mean?
One thing that I'll have to chime in real quick, I learned with that experience in 13 in that tour, I had to respect people's cities. You know what I'm saying? I had to respect people's scenes. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of layers that go to it. There's a lot of layers, man. You know what I mean? It's their city. So you kind of have to respect what goes on, their recommendation. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the time shit can get dangerous. You know what I'm saying? You go to a place and you're just, you're showing your talent off and you're trying to be beautiful on stage. Some of these places aren't churches. These places are bars. That's what I learned in 13 too, is that I have to respect, I had to respect Motion City. You know what I'm saying? I had to respect, his recommendations, a lot of things that had went on behind the scenes, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's dope. Now, theory has it, you have always struck me as a very patient person, humble.
I am water.
Being in the midst of such personality turmoil. Did that ever affect you in a way where you're like, I gotta get away from these dudes? Or did you always maintain that peacefulness that I always kind of see coming from you?
I think so. I mean, I was joking when I said I am water, but it's a real thing. I was kind of like, I wouldn't say neutral, but I would just go with the flow, but there's another side of me that's like this, this little corny hip hop fan. And so I was hyped all the time, like, yo, Marzil, yo, Plato, yo, ton of rats, so that was me. And I think it was a couple times.
You're still that nerd.
Yeah, but I chilled out, you know what I'm saying? I'm cool, man. I had a couple pep talks from like just me and Kaz Meta, you know what I'm saying? It was cool, you know what I'm saying? I just had to sit back and relax, But yeah, I've always been like, I just want to work. Yeah. As time went on, I saw more value in doing stuff with your crew than doing stuff with your favorite artist. So yeah.
That sounds wild. IOMOS is feeling that.
Facts.
Yeah.
It's all about, doing stuff with your family first. And then, you know what I mean, branching out. So I'm always a co-signer of that, if I can use that word. You know what I'm saying? So that's dope. That's what's up.
Yeah,
that
for
resonates.
Sure. I definitely had to learn it though. I had to learn it.
For sure. Profound. Any thoughts, questions?
Yeah, man. I want to know, since there's so many of y'all, does everybody like having they brothers help write songs, or does the MC in each individual like to take over at times? And I asked that question because as a solo MC myself, sometimes the lazy part of me would want to do a song with somebody else because I don't want to write the whole thing myself.
Man,
that's for any of y'all.
My experience has just been building. That's a quick answer for me. Like, we pass tracks along, but like I think Kaz could answer it better.
Yeah. Kaz.
What, just like obviously when you because I'm a solo artist and I'm in a bunch of groups, right? That's why Neville had to earlier, because it's like, well, I thought you were in that group. Well, I am. I'm in that group, and I'm in that group, and I'm in that group, and I'm in that group. So, I do a lot of work. So it's definitely easier to build your catalog and build songs when you're doing collaborations versus doing a solo record. I mean, that's half the work if there's somebody else doing it for you. So I don't think it's ever challenging for any of us, though. Like, it's actually usually a lot of times we had the same 2 or 3 guys coming up with all the concepts a lot of the time, and then everybody else would come up with song ideas here and there. For sure, everybody contributed, but I mean, we as MCs, we like to sharpen our swords, man. So we like that challenge of somebody giving us something new we've never done before. Oh, you got this brand new idea that I didn't think of? I love it. You know what I mean? That was always my vibe. Like, Just Me is one of the most creative when it comes to coming up with concepts, especially for early SI stuff. And he would always come up with these really practical concepts you could write from. Like, you could have enough verses about to where nobody's verse is gonna sound the same, if that makes sense. Like, it always worked out for us, man. It worked out in our favor. You listen to the music and you listen to the concepts and you listen to the fluidity of just everybody in general, for sure. So hope that answers your question, brother.
Yes. Dope.
Well, let me chime in.
Yeah.
I want to say this. Being around these guys, they're so creative. It was not hard to ever be creative and to find your slot. Okay. So so maybe one time I'll come up with a concept. I'll write the first verse. I'll write the hook. I'll come in, I'll drop it. Cats will be like, I'm feeling that, boom, boom. Because there's so many heads, just like, well, somebody might not feel it, but like 2 other people might feel it. So like we're making a song. So it's not very hard. And also we form like Voltron. So like, yo, I'm calling you to do this, right? That might be a concept where I'll be like, Just Me, I need you to rap. And he might not necessarily feel it, but because I asked him to do it, and that's what we made a pact with each other, right? He'll rap on it and he'll kill it, despite the fact that he's not feeling it, right?
Right.
So that's the interesting thing. Like, if I could encourage whoever's listening, who's not, who hasn't, they're not sure how to feel about creating, is like, yo, find some cats who you respect, submit yourself to them, and then like create together. And like I guarantee you will be a better artist for that process.
Yeah, absolutely.
Period. There's no question. Wonder Brown only exists because of Theory Has It, Kaz Meta, Just Me, Mouth Warren, Motion Plus, all these guys, MC Till, Sean Little, like all the people I ever collaborated with, I stole from all y'all, right?
And best believe it's reciprocated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Echo all that.
But the best part is like the greatness comes from submission. Like like, hey, like, oh, okay, like there was times where I collaborated with Zoe, Mouth Warren. I'd be like, yo, you're the greatest rapper I've ever heard in my life. And he'll come to me and be like, I can't hold a candle to you. And I'll be like, are you serious? That's bullshit.
We will kind of blow each other's minds at times because the humility was unreal in a sense. Like, we all came as children together. Like, we're all humbling ourselves. Like, we're all adult men in our early 20s coming together, trying to figure this thing out instead of being like, divas and trying to be like, trying to give an okie doke to the brothers that you came around and say, yo, let's do this hip hop shit. The crew, in the tradition of, Wu-Tang, in the tradition of, the boot camp, in the tradition of Hyra, all that. That's what we had in mind. We were like, you know what, man, this is the Midwest. This is our version of that. That's what this is. That's what we want this to be. And it is easier. You know what I'm saying? As far as coming up with ideas and concepts,
it is easier, and I'll have to say you can get lazy. You can be in that comfort zone. You can get comfortable, but you also too become a better individual. Just like my man said, you become a better individual by just going through that process.
But that, like, if I could chime in, like that's one of the things I find that's like difficult to do. Like when you got brothers that you respect as an MC, like I'm an MC and Profound's an MC, like all my brothers that I'm close to, but it's hard for them. It's hard to get them to buy into how you guys just, y'all bought into like, yo, we about to do this. Let's get it cracking. So how did y'all get, like, was it just organic or was it just like everybody had the mutual idea? It was like, hey,
no.
Like,
it started from just me.
Right. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I know it started with him, but like what was said? Like, what was the energy? Like, was you all like, well, did it come to the point where some of y'all was just tired of like pushing things on your own? And you was like trying to, because I think coming together as a crew, this is what I'm getting at. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I'm sorry.
Nah,
but this is what I'm getting at. Like, it seems like to me, what you guys are doing is the perfect representation of hip hop. Because hip hop is about community, moving together as a unit, as opposed to an individual becoming a superstar. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that is the blueprint and the essence of what hip hop is about, is moving as a unit and moving in community. So I was just wondering, like, what made you all like buy into it? Like, man, this is what we gonna do. Let's get it cracking. Let's get it moving.
May I say something about it?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So being that I was one of the later members to come into it, I think you could just sense that there was something special about it. Like, you kind of know that there's something special going on. You know what I mean? So it's not necessarily a buy-in. It's just that everybody, it like, to quote Theo, he's water, right? So everything was like moving together in the same current. You know what I mean? Like, everybody, even though everybody in the crew has a totally different style, like, none of us rap the same, period, right? And everybody has their own, like, just their little, not a niche. I don't want to use the word niche, but everybody has their lane, right? Everybody has their own individual lane. Nuance, perfect word, right? And so you felt like there was something special about it, especially for me coming in later. So, like, of course, the core members, they were all together and they were doing shows constantly together. They were vibing together in person. I didn't get that opportunity a lot, but you just sensed it. Like, the buzz was there. It was just, again, the word that just keeps coming to my mind is special. There was just something special about it, and it worked. So it didn't necessarily need a buy-in. It was like, it was a no-brainer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh.
To answer more directly, like how it came together, or like, the how it blended together was, there had to be some checks and balances. So one of the things that we said right up front is that the song is king. The song, like, if we're recording, the song is what matters most, not your ego, not his ego, not, like, it's whatever's best for the song. So I mean, early on we had situations sometimes where 5 verses were written and 2 got kicked off and 3 got kept. We did stuff like that, or if somebody wrote something and not everyone was feeling it, then we just didn't use that. Like, oh, well, that hook's not quite it, we need to go this way. So I think that was an easy way to like keep everyone focused, was like, the song is king. And then over time, different people, the early stuff, you might say that I was producing more, like I was sort of directing the way things went. And then over time, Kaz became more that guy where he was the one putting people together on the songs. Like, I got these beats, and these 3 guys are gonna get on this song, and these 3 guys are gonna get on this song. Like, sometimes you have to, when you have a organization of guys that big, you have to have somebody driving.
Yeah.
Well, I also want to say this. I remember the first time I met Kaz Meta, he played me a tape of Just Me. And it was songs that were going to end up being on One Man's Trash. And I remember listening to these songs and going, this guy is polished. I'm not even this same category as this guy. And I remember Thea was saying the same thing. I remember Kaz was kind of saying the same thing. I didn't even realize that Scribbling Idiots were a thing. So I think it started with experience. I think it started with Just Me's experience on the West Coast with all the guys he was rapping with, Tunnel Rats, Soul Seekers, his crew. What was the other crew that you?
Future Shock.
Future Shock. So these guys who had been around, right? He was bringing this. He just brought this essence that just permeated everything, and I see it now as I'll go back in time. I think about this a lot. Like, I end up rapping like all these guys combined. I didn't even realize it, because I'm just soaking it in. You feel me? And Just Me brought that to the table. Kaz Meta also brought that to the table. I would have never met Just Me if it wasn't for Kaz Meta. Like, so it just kind of like, now that I look back, I'm like, it was meant to be. It was just
Kaz is the king networker. Kaz is always
none better.
And so he really is like, Kaz facilitated people being in the group. I mean, like the very, very beginning, like the core, like the very first. So the first record that came out with Scribbling Idiots was Just Me and Kaz Meta record.
Yeah. That
had production from Matman and Reflex the Architect and myself. And then Zoe rapped on it, and Caboose rapped on it, and
Pigeon
Elias.
John.
Pigeon John did a guest appearance on that record, but Elias was the other, like Elias and of course Ruff, Ruffy, and rest in peace. One of the OG members of SI, and anyway, that project sort of got things off the ground. The point was that Kaz sort of facilitated all these relationships, and then even us ended up linking with Theo and Wonder Brown. It was just Kaz putting things together. I think we initially met at a show. We actually met at a couple shows before we ended up saying, hey, these guys should be Scribbling Idiots.
Yeah. Hey, just to before go ahead, Kaz.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you're good.
No, yeah, I was saying we just that's how we met. Theo and Wonder was doing shows, did a few similar shows together, and just started building from there. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we're gonna kick to a few folks here to ask questions. But first, Just Me, can you just tell us all the members of Scribbling Idiots so that people know who's in it? We have 6 of y'all represented here. Who are we missing tonight?
Word. So we have the 6 that are here. We have our dude Elias, who's who bounces back and forth between LA and France. We have Reflex the Architect representing for the UK. We got Matman, who has produced many a beat for Scribbling Idiots. And we have Sebastian Hochstein out in Germany. And
is that Jack?
Am I leaving anybody? That's Jack.
Yeah, that's Jack. Okay, and then rest in peace to Ruffian, of course.
One who is in spiritual essence, and it goes by the name of Ruffian.
Ruffian, yes. Cool. Let's kick it over. Thank you, Just Me. Let's kick it down to Ironic Lee. Did you have a question for the crew?
No, mine was similar to Io. I definitely wanted to hear, how they kept that synergy going by it being so many different personalities, because I know how, juggling all that can happen. So that was good that they answered that. So thank you.
Cool. And question for you, ironically, is as a fan of the group, what is it about this crew that you really appreciate?
I'm all about lyrics, right? So I grew up in that era, you know, with lyricism, and then just the vibe of it, right? I mean, this is Boom Bap Chat. So to have something, you know, like me, you know, in the faith, having something to where it's like, okay, this is something that's clean, that I can listen to, you know. And it's not watered down, you know what I'm saying? It's not, you know, it ain't beat me over the head with theology and nothing like, you know what I'm saying? It's just dope hip hop music, which is clean, and they can spit. Like that's what it was about for me. You know what I'm saying? So to be able to have something like, yo, this is dope, and they believe us too. Like, oh yeah, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what did it for me.
Dope. And Joe had a question that I really wanted to know too. But Joe, you want to chime in with your question?
Yeah, let me start off with a comment. So I'm coming to this as a fan. So, you know, growing up in the early mid 90s, understanding Christian hip hop as a baseline, was really into a lot of the different groups that are out there. And just like when Theory was mentioned earlier about being starstruck, it's just amazing that you guys were able to work and collaborate with so many great artists that I listened to and that I kind of grew up with, and then some who I even got to work with as I became a producer. But having said that, I want to know from each member here, which Scribbling Idiots album do you think is the best in your opinion, and why?
And does it have to be a group album or just a Scribbling Idiot solo or group?
Let's keep it group for now.
Group, okay, all right, group.
I'll go first. It's that latest one we dropped. What is it? Good Morning Morning? Is that it?
Good Morning.
Yeah, the latest one. I always say that the next one we do is always going to be the best one for me, man. That's how we always get better, and the latest one to me is the best one.
Dope.
I'm definitely Good Morning as well, because I'm actually on more than one song.
Get out of here.
But no. I think that Good Morning just like the Have-Nots to me, I can listen to that album front to back, right? And it holds a special place in my heart for real, because like when I first got a copy of it, I was super proud of it. But there's something about Good Morning that it's so like there's so much progress there. It was so elevated. It just showed our growth all together. Like it's a very mature album, you know what I mean? And I just think that I don't know. Man, I don't even know how to explain it. Like Good Morning to me is front to back. It just like speaks to my soul. And everybody seemed to, even though we weren't together when we recorded it, it felt like we was. You know what I mean? It was very cohesive.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I say for me, it was Scribbling Idiots presents Just Me and Kaz Better. I'm not even on that album. I just hold that one high. That one and Dimension Tide. I know that's a Kaz Better solo.
Dimension Tide, bro.
Both of those.
Dope.
Man, Theo's remix version of the Just Me and Kaz, the Scribbling Idiots present Just Me and Kaz Meta, the Theory Has It Beat Down, is the better version of that record.
Nice. How about you, Wonder Brown?
Yeah, it's fun.
What's your favorite?
It has to be the Have-Nots because I'm on there the most. Straight up and down.
Humbly stated.
My 5 favorite rappers are Wonder Brown, and Wonder Brown.
They spit hot fire.
Actually, my favorite record of all time is Idiomatic Volume 1.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
All my favorite songs. It's got the best remix versions of like the joint where Construction is one of my favorite songs. the joint where it's Kaz Mouth and Just rapping over a Common beat. It's so sick. It's so sick. I love Common, but we fucking housed that shit. I watched them record that thing, and I was like, "Damn, I'm in crew with these guys." And so, and the other thing is like back then when we were young, we were so hungry. Like our styles were like off the chain. Like as we've gotten older, it's like they've gotten like so tight. It's almost boring. Back then we were like just like yeah whatever blah, 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 you know, like we created styles that other rappers have fallen suit from. So like that Idiomatic Volume 1.
That was
But yeah,
kind of
other
like
than that,
around the
it's
same
definitely
time.
Have Nots. I'm sorry.
No. I was just saying that was around the same time of, you know, just you know, the Dimension Tide, the Idiomatic, you know, the
They
Have
were all the
Nots,
same time.
kind of, you know, they were, you know,
2005.
and it's just really had us like, you know, on the inventive tip.
Cookie Clacker's record was at the same time.
Yeah.
Like,
So was Sound Protest.
Yeah.
Sound Protest.
Crazy.
Styles were so nuts.
Mm.
Like, yo, you know, as we get older, like, of course, I want to rap in pocket. I want to
mixtape. You know what I'm saying?
Firearms.
Firearms
Shit.
mixtape.
I used to be with the firearms. Ooh.
Kazmeta, how about you? What's your which album do you think is the best in Scribbling Idiots catalog?
I'll probably go with Good Morning Morning. Yeah, just for the same reasons they said. But I mean, for as far as the growth, you know what I mean, to show that we, even though this is the Boom Bap Chat and that's where we got our, you know, that's our origin story. I didn't want that to be our only story, and I kind of felt like I oversaw that record with the vision of Ruffian. You know what I mean? Like what I thought he would want it to sound like. And so, you know, that complete. He was more progressive than I was. You know what I'm saying? He was more of a, you know, futuristic type of artist, and he had to push me that direction. So once he was gone and wasn't with us, you know what I mean? I just, if he wasn't gonna be there physically, you know, his spirit was gonna be there. So like that was the whole point of Good Morning Morning was to be more of like a tribute to it was like a Scribbling Idiots record, the way Ruffian would want to sound. That's the way I could put it. So that's my favorite. But this one right here was fire too. Y'all, this one, right?
Idiomatic.
That's the one with
number 2.
Yeah, that's the one with the Illmatic background.
Yeah.
I always like that.
Yeah.
That was club.
Idiomatic.
But
yeah.
Yeah, man, we had the Fourth Disciple beat on there. We had the Deacon the Villain feature on there. I mean, a lot of crazy drops from everybody from like freaking High Tech to Prince Paul and Wordsworth.
Oh, nice.
We thought we were big stars. That right, guys?
How'd you get a Prince Paul drop? Is that from Prince Paul?
Yeah. Scribble Jam, I think.
It's really, I just walked up to him. I seen him, so I walked up to him and got a drop. I'm Kazmeta, son.
Kazmeta, man.
It makes it happen.
Meta of Kaz.
He does make it happen.
Yeah. Do I really need detail? Kazmeta, son.
My favorite drop we ever got was Gallagher.
You got Gallagher to give you a drop?
I was there.
Okay, for those that have no idea who Gallagher is, please tell us who Gallagher is and how did you get a drop from Gallagher, Just Me?
So Gallagher is this famous comedian from the 70s. He was the guy that would put watermelons on the stage and smash them with a giant mallet. And hilarious guy. And we were down in Nashville about to leave. We were down there for GMAs, so we were, doing a lot of. I think we performed a couple times, but we did like interviews and stuff like that. But we're all hanging out in front of the hotel about to leave, and he's standing on the sidewalk with like it's a bunch of hip hop heads, and then Gallagher, and so I just go like, finally, I'm like, I know who that guy. And then I was like, I realized who it was, and I'm like, I'm gonna ask him. I don't care. And I said, I'm sorry, sir, but are you Gallagher? And he was like, yeah, man. And he broke out a button from like one of his tours from the 70s and gave it to me.
That's awesome.
And I was like, this is crazy. And we were about to leave actually, and I was like, dude, we should get a drop from him. And we like ran up on him, like he was he was leaving the parking garage, and I think it might have been Kaz, like ran up on him, like yo, and like knocked on the window. Hey, can you do a drop for us? And he was like, a drop? What is that? But yeah.
Yeah. It was me and Jamie, and he thought we were going to rob him or something. You could tell he looked mad shook at first.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We had to like kind of slowly like calm him down and like tell him the whole story about how we're rappers and stuff. Because he was like, oh shit. About to, you know what I mean? He had that look on his face like about to get got.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then he yelled, does anybody want to crush some fruit?
Yo, that's dope.
Wonder, you mute.
The only, Wonder Brown, you're mute. You're the only hip hop crew that has ever got a Gallagher drop.
Wait. So Justin recognized him. Justin recognized him, but he was like, maybe we should get a drop. And he was in the car. He was about to leave. We rushed his car.
Yeah.
He's in the back seat of the car. He's like, it's not a limo, but he's like in the back seat of the car. We rush his car. We knock on the window like, yo, Gallagher. And me and Kaz are right there, because Justin says we should do something. Like me and Kaz just ran up on this fucking car, and we knock on the window, and he rolls it down. And he goes, yeah. I was like, let's do it. So like it was in Kaz's phone when we got the drop.
That's right.
Yeah, we ran up on him, and that's why he was shook, because we ran up on his car like, yo, kind of thing. It was like, yo, I'll never forget that day, because he also was like, the Scribbling Idiots.
Yo, and that was the beginning of his comeback. He had a sitcom after that, I think, and went on to smash a lot of watermelon. He started smashing vegetables on stage.
That might have been the point where his twin brother came out on the Chappelle show, though. You know what I mean?
Right.
Black Gallagher.
Yes.
Crush some fruit? Who wants to crush some fruit?
Yo, that's hilarious. Yo, IOMOS, you got a dope question, man. You want to jump in?
I got actually two. The first one is where does the name come from? Is there like a meaning behind the name, or like is it connected to like Scribble Jam? Like is this like paying homage to Scribble Jam? Like where does the name come from? And then two, well, answer that, then I'll come up with this. The next question is a producer question because Theory Hazard is like one of my favorite producers. Like, so if I got a producer in the room, I'm gonna ask a producer question because I'm just starting out back making beats. So,
right. So the answer to the first question is boring. So I want to assign Wonder Brown to tell the story, the more amusing story of where somebody had some other idea of what Scribbling Idiots meant.
Wait.
Remember that show? That show we did at that church? And they thought that we were gonna go do like art on stage.
Oh my!
Do you remember this?
I kind of remember, yeah. Yeah.
In like not so good part of town.
Wait, where was that at?
Okay, yeah.
Did they?
Wait, Justin, where was that at?
I don't remember this.
Dude, we were out. I want to say, man, where was it at? Do you remember, Cass? Oh, it was early on.
I don't know. I thought you were talking Cincinnati shows, but I could be wrong. We did too many shows, dog. I don't remember.
It's one of those things where basically as we're rapping, we're supposed to be like drawing pictures. Yeah.
So they booked you thinking that's what they were going to get?
Yes.
So then they didn't get it. What, were they upset?
Well, so what we did, somebody like came up to us, like, I don't know if it was right before the show or like after, like in like an intermission or something, and they like told us that they thought that that's what was gonna happen. So we like brought out pieces of paper and started, like, when somebody else was rapping, somebody else would just start drawing. Like it looked like we were playing Pictionary while people were rapping, dude.
It's Pictionary. It's fucking Pictionary rap.
Pictionary rap.
Dribble.
That's
I
funny.
think we sold the drawings at the show though.
I almost forgot about that.
Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, we do
Pictionary
art
rap.
while we rap. Yeah.
Do that.
So
Picture pages, Cosby, picture pages.
Is there a meaning behind the name Scribbling Idiots? Or is it just a name? Just someone said Scribbling Idiots and it just stuck?
I mean, I don't know if Scribble Jam might have had something to do with like the idea, because Kaz and I met at Scribble Jam.
Right. So it's in the psyche.
Yeah, but you know, and Idiots was just like, to me, was just sort of a thing of like, you know, not taking ourselves too serious, I guess.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, I remember just me being like, the world looks at us as idiots, right? Like, because the reality is like, when I started rapping, I'm in my 20s. I remember my family was like, "What? Like, you should be like off making millions of dollars being like a stockbroker or whatever." I was like, "No, I want to write raps." So when I remember I was online and Theo was like, "Yo, you got to check these guys out." And I remember seeing the you know, the logo, and I was like, "Dang, this is incredible. This is dope." And it was like, "Oh, these guys are right down the street. Wow, okay." I just remember like saying to myself, like, I vibe with this junk. If I got a chance, like, I want to be a part. And then when they asked Theo to be a part, I was like, well, I don't care. I'm going to be a part. I basically bogarted that junk. I was like, I'll do everything. Listen, I would go to shows and I would have their backup vocals, and Just Me would be like, how do you know everybody's verse? How do you know everybody's words? And I'd be like, because I'm on it, man.
Facts. Wonder Brown did bully his way into the group.
Word up.
I want to hang out with the cool kids. Man. I'm tired of not being with the cool kids, man. I want to hang out with these guys. They're doing what I want to do.
If Wonder Brown bullied his way into the group, how did Theory Has It get into the group?
Because he's Theory Has It.
Water.
DJ first.
He just kind of flowed right on in.
You know, they called me up. It was like New Year's Day, and I would say like 05 or something like that. I was hyped, yo. I was hyped. I was like, what? Yeah, I want to be in a rap group. I'm trying to. I've been trying to get down, you know, because I was bugging like Kaz, I think, to get down. And once I got down, and I was just like, well, what about Wonder Brown? You know, I always like, you know, wanted to include him because we was always working on stuff, man. Me and him like just knocking out tracks 3, 4 in the morning, like
every night,
like water. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we were also like, yo, field specialist, that sounds dope. So we was just down to like hang, and then it ended up being, you know,
yeah,
Just Me and Ruffian and Malforeign and Kaz Meta, of course. But yeah, it was like, wow.
Word. Well, while we're on the water and the producer Theory Has It, IO, you want to ask your producer question? And there's other producers in here too. I know Just Me.
What I'm saying. I know it's a lot of other producers in here too. Like I heard Just Me say he make beats, Kaz Meta. So the production question I have is like, so what would you say to somebody like, so me, I'm in graduate school, so it's hard for me to like balance, you know what I mean, trying to get to writing rhymes, studying, and getting to, you know, making beats. And I just got an MPC-1, so I'm just starting back to make beats. So what would you suggest for someone who's just starting out making beats? What would you suggest that they do to improve their sound, to find their sound, just to improve as far as like a beat maker? What would you suggest for that person?
I would say,
Made sense.
you know, accepting all the challenges, you know, from saying yes to projects, you know, things that are going to stretch you or grow you, you know, all the way to like really just creating something that you want to hear, and also just finding a really dope MC. I didn't think I was gonna rap anymore, and I had like Wonder Brown like rhyming like on tracks. I thought I was it. I thought that was it for me. You know, I thought I was like his primo, and you know what I'm saying. And he was guru, and um, so like finding like somebody that's really dope. You don't have to be like a whole bunch of them, but like you just find that one, and like I said, you know, give beats to everybody, and working on your own sound, and your own sound is just doing what you want to hear. Yeah. Now
Doing
what's hot?
that.
Yeah,
doing
but
what you want to hear. I
yeah.
feel that. I feel that. Yeah. Cool. Cool. So I have one more question that I want to ask before we go into a little a segment that's going to be the most challenging thing you've ever done in your life. So get ready for that. You all have kind of touched on it a little bit. You know, I started off the conversation with who's the most annoying member, because to be in a group, when you live with someone long term, you're in a long term friendship, relationship group, you get on each other's nerves. And a lot of marriages don't make it. A lot of groups don't make it. You all have made it. Like, you have made it through years and years and years of that type of stuff that goes on in relationships. What have you all learned as a result of being in this group? And how have you grown, or how have you grown as a result of being in this group? And yeah, whoever has an answer first, just jump in. Kaz, your mic's
We're old.
go ahead.
Mike
Kaz, you
is
might.
glitchy. Can you hear me now?
What's up?
Yeah, Kaz, you might have to turn your video off just to try to get the audio working a little bit better. That might help. Go ahead, Kaz, jump in. We can hear you, Kaz.
Check, check. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Go ahead and jump in, buddy.
All right. I was gonna say that I've learned that we're old, because like you have mentioned, we've been around for a minute, man. I think we've been together 18 years.
Wow.
Or maybe even maybe 19. I mean, depending on when you say we actually started. I want to say it was 2003 was when SI was formed. Does that sound right, Jess?
Yeah, I think so.
So I've learned. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I met you in probably 02, but we didn't start SI until 03. We put out the Free Stuff EP way back then. But what I learned is, man, is like you said, is dealing with, you know what I mean, different personalities, and just, I mean, it just became bigger than music, man. It just became a brother. So it was just something that was meant to be and built to last, man.
Dope. I like it. Who else has an answer for that? How have you grown? What have you learned?
I'll go in. I learned that there's a bigger picture than just yourself. You know what I mean? There's a bigger picture than just, you know, we're all solo artists in this group, right? So everybody has a catalog basically in this group, but it's like, I know personally all the accomplishments that I made in the industry was because I was a scribbling idiot. Period. Yeah. So, and it still holds me down to this day. I mean, as we get older, our fan base starts to dwindle a little bit. You know, real life kicks in sometimes. You know, we're not millionaires off this music, right? So we work regular jobs. The fan base starts to dwindle a little bit. We appreciate everybody that still pays attention to us, or at least I do, pays attention to me. And you know, and I know that 90% of that is because I'm a scribbling idiot.
Yeah.
So it isn't just about me, you know. It's not motion, it's the group. It's the crew. That's what I got to say.
Dope. All right, who's next?
I'll just jump in here. I couldn't even begin to list all the things that I've learned from these guys over the years.
Yeah.
But you know, biggest thing about it is that, you know, because we've been a family for so long, you know, I'll just say that we learned what it meant to be family, what it meant to be brothers, and to be able to lean on each other throughout that time. I mean, that's ultimately what we learned.
Yeah. That's dope. Dope. Theory has it. How about you?
Man, I don't know. I think it goes back to what we were saying earlier about for me anyway, there will be no Theory Has It without Wonder Brown, Just Me, Casmeta, Mouth Warren, you know what I'm saying? Like Reflex the Architect, you know what I'm saying? Motion Plus. It wouldn't be like, I was doing like my little stuff, you know what I'm saying, my little CDs or whatever in mixtapes. But like even like the first like I would say worldwide, you know, official album, like Theory Has It album, there's Reflex the Architect is on there, you know what I'm saying? Just Me is on there, you know what I'm saying? And everything that I'm like recording on was provided by like Wonder Brown, you know what I'm saying? They wouldn't know who I was without these fellas right here. So I learned that you could do so much, but you can't do it alone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just like you know, I mean, you know, there's songs like More Than Crew, you know what I'm saying? And it was, you know what I'm saying? There's been like misunderstandings and stuff like that. That's just family. But like, you know, we was locked in a room, you know what I'm saying, knocking out joints, sleeping over at each other's house, you know, accommodating each other, you know, like throwing the window open, you know what I'm saying? Cause, you know, Jamie's allergic to everything, you know. Like the whole house cold because it's Jamie. But you know, but we traveled together, we slept on each other's couches and we built together, and a lot. It was times where we got together and it wasn't even about music, you know, we didn't record nothing, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I really got some insight on that, and it just helped me appreciate like them, and I just wanted to improve our relationship really, because of that. So
dope. I love it. Wonder Brown, anything for you?
I think there's just a universal truth. If you open yourself up to possibility, you really just don't have a choice in who you get to love, ever. And so when I met Theory, I was probably at one of the lowest spots in my life. And he was a dream come true. He was a prayer come true. And the there's just repercussions to that, right? And oftentimes I think you don't know those things in real time, but every time I met one of these guys, I knew in real time it was like, this is a repercussion of making a great decision, of submitting myself to something that I really want to do, that I love. And hey guys, by the way, if you want to make beats, if you want to rap, I actually made this conscious decision before I even met Theo. I was like, I want to do this so much, I give up everything. I cut all my credit cards. I paid off all my debt. I was a vagabond. I was a bum. If you look at all the pictures of Scribbling Idiots when we were first together, I look like a bum. And that's the truth. I was a bum. I was an absolute bum. But I submitted myself to this because it meant more to me than my own ego and my own passion, right? My own self-worth, right? So in the back of my mind, I was learning lessons beyond who I was. And I can see them now clearly, but I couldn't choose who I love. When I met Malfoy, I was like, this guy is exactly like me. He's crazy. He might even be like slightly like on the spectrum, right? I know
Slightly?
I am. Huh?
Slightly?
Yeah. So, but I loved him so much because he was authentic. The Scribbling Idiots are authentic. We don't fake shit. I got Christians come up to me all the time. Was like, why are you guys so gangster? Because we are gangster. So like,
I'm the most gangster. I'm the most gangster. I'm the most gangster. I'm the most gangster.
Okay, fair enough. And just to say, like, you don't get to choose who you love in this world. You really don't. Peace to all these guys for putting up with me.
Word up. Enzo Nichols.
Yeah, man.
How about yourself, man?
What I learned is everything that these guys just said.
Yeah.
But for me too, like those sessions where we got together and nothing really happened, like Theory was saying, like that's some of our sessions, you know what I'm saying? And I humbly say that because, I learned a lot gravitating towards Theo too as well. I had moved to Dayton from Charleston, and I used to travel down and see Jamie and Theo all the time. I try to get down there as much as possible, and I felt like I was annoying Theo, and to me, Theo was like one of the sick. I felt like he was high tech, like better than high tech. Like he was like the next to do it in Cincinnati, like that big. Like I felt like it was about to happen. Like and I still do. I feel like Theo is that. Theo is that dude in Cincinnati. Theo is that man right now. That's what it is. He's that man right now. And I'm amazed by everything that's happened. Like I'm nothing, like my man said, I'm nothing without this camaraderie. I learned a lot. I had a lot of little pride issues with myself, thinking that I was, super, I like my concepts were the way to go. We do it, and I would try to influence a little bit, but I would humble myself and go with the flow. And to me, like Jamie said about love, like one thing that another thing I learned in this group, I learned through Justin, and it's about love. He's the only like big brother figure in my life that has ever like ended a call like, I love you, bro. I love you, man. Hey, do good. I love you, bro. All right, one. Boom. He's the only dude that's ever came at me like that. You know what I mean? And I learned a lot through Justin, because Justin showed a lot of love to me when, in our early years, and Theory too as well. You know what I mean? And Kaz, like being that everybody motion, like God taught me a lot through this group, and learning God is the thing that we all, that's what we're all doing. We're all learning God. And you know, through this camaraderie right here, man, I'm blessed, bro. I'm humbled. I'm blessed and thankful. For real.
Likewise,
That's super
bro.
dope. That's super dope. I lied. I do have one more question, but before that, anyone else? IOMOS, Neville, Profound, Joe. What y'all got? Any final questions for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, well, I'll wait. Well, I'll let somebody go because I feel like I've been talking too much. But
Oh, you're good, man. You're good.
No, I'll let somebody else go.
It's the niggas who love to hate. Ice Cube. Yeah, it's me.
What's up, Neville?
What was I gonna say here? So my question is, I love it. Just kind of piggybacking on that is when he, because what do you call it? Tiller's asking about what you learned, right? You say, I think Kaz said it, that you meet in 2002. 2000 what 7 2000 to like 2010, right? The hip hop industry, the music industry takes a massive turn, right? And it really starts to go digital with the social media and everything. What do you learn as quote unquote underground boom bap artists pre? I mean, shit, Napster was already out in 2002, but you guys know where I'm going roughly. 2007 to 2010 to now, and pre, because you toured pre, you sold pre, you were younger. Motion Plus said that we're losing because we're getting older. But even with the transition now from where it is now, you know, vinyl coming back, compressed music, et cetera, Instagram, all of that. How have you seen the landscape change? I don't know if that shit. That was like 4 questions. Did y'all get it?
I got something for it. Basically, I mean, I really saw the change in 2007. That seemed to be the time when everything really, really changed. The bottom fell out of the music industry. Independent artists could tour really, really easy and make a good living out of it. And after that, they were only booking like bigger artists. And you were lucky to get just a little bit of money. You know what I mean? You had to definitely work with scraps and be smart with what you did. I think the one thing that I learned, and some of us idiots took better advantage than others, is you had to be on top of the music videos and just daily interaction with the fans and keeping them updated, keeping them on point. Like Theo definitely is the visual person probably out of all of us, but so is Just Me. You know what I mean? And he was on it early too with videos. Kaz with the videos with the joint with Timo and all that. I mean, it was important. I didn't get an opportunity. Just where I'm at and the location I'm at, it almost felt like videos were just impossible for me to make. So I felt the hit from that because I wasn't on that side of it compared to everybody else. So like, yeah, I think, man, Fonte once, what did Fonte say on his album? Being dope is always, don't need a new style. Being dope is always in fashion, right? So I don't think it's necessarily the soundscape or the music or the change that happened, you know, from drill to whatever you call, you know, the more modern day music nowadays. I don't think that's the issue. It's really about communicating with the younger fans in a medium that they understand. And nowadays that's really about visuals. I mean, you can hop on Theory Has Its Instagram and you're going to see something new every single day because he's constantly putting it up, and that's why he's successful. You know what I mean? So I say that was the definitive change that happened from 2007 going into 10. I mean, we're in 2021 and it's more prevalent than it's ever been. Like if you don't hop on that media train, I guess you could say, then you're gonna definitely face the consequences of not being seen or heard.
Yeah.
You know what? I want to chime in here, guys. For me personally, when I came into this, I was a little bit older. I really didn't start making hip hop till I was almost 25. I want to encourage anybody out there who's listening. It's about art. If you make a decision that you want to be an artist, make art. Okay? At the end of the day, when you die, seriously, guys, listen. When you die, you're gonna have to tell yourself, did I do what I was supposed to do with my life? And if you're an artist, right? This is what I love about all the guys. We just do what we are supposed to do with our lives. I learned that from Justin. I learned that from Kaz. I learned that from Motion. I learned that from Mouth. I especially learned that from Theo. You just have to do what you're supposed to do with your life. And if you don't, that's what hell is. Okay. So like, I think when we formed like Voltron, it was like, we're going to make art. Okay. We're going to let our art speak for ourselves, however that costs, however that comes. If it's video, if it's music, whatever it is, right? The way you talk to people. Okay. So I honestly believe that. I still believe that to this day. I haven't made a lot of art recently, but I still see myself in that form, in that fashion, right? Be yourself. And if you're an artist, be an artist.
Yeah.
And I think in the end, that's what the Scribbling Idiot legacy will be. Like, look at Kaz. This guy has 1,000 songs, right?
Yeah.
And guess what? The last song he made doesn't matter because it's about the next one. Okay. Same thing with Brad Pitt, and same thing with Steven Spielberg, and same thing with, I don't know, anybody else in this world who's actually a creator, right? Don't worry about getting famous. Don't worry about making money. Kick ass at you.
That's a fact.
Dope.
Welcome to my TED Talk.
Bro, I'll preach that. Listen, I preach that all day long to everybody in Cincinnati, and yo, they love it. They eat it up because no one else is saying that.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, and you say it with passion too.
Yeah, man.
I've heard it a few times.
I can't help myself.
It's authentic.
Hey, IOMOS, did you have a final question for the idiots?
Yeah, just on the topic of faith that came up. And I remember the first time when I came to Christ, and they was telling me like, yo, you need to listen to this cat. You need to listen to that dude. This dude, ABC, whatever. And I'm like, bro, I didn't come up from that era. I came up from the era of Tribe Called Quest. I came up from the era of like, where are those artists at? And I couldn't really get connected to those artists until I found some dudes who knew about like the Tunnel Rats, the Pigeon Johns, the Cabooses, the Theory Hazards and stuff like that. So when I found that, I was like, oh yeah, I'm good now. Like I'm golden. So what was it like for you all when you came to Christ, or when you like decided to roll with your faith, but continue to do hip hop music? Like, what was your decision to keep it boom bap, or what was your decision to like be the trailblazers that you are? Because I find like a lot of young dudes who are in the faith, they feel like, I was in this room in Clubhouse and I was telling them the type of music I was doing. And he was like, yo, you using the wrong bait. Like you ain't gonna reach nobody. So I'm like, word, for real? You tweaking, Joe. Like, nah, well, I could show you better than I could tell you. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I kind of left it. But it seems like one of the things that I always say, and a lot of Christians or people of the faith, they don't agree with me when I say that, is that we don't have to follow the trends of the times. We can set our own trend. We need to be the trendsetters and not the trend followers. But a majority of those that's of the faith, they tend to follow the trends instead of being the trendsetters. So I want to just know, like, hear your thoughts on that. Like, what do you think about that?
So, faith is a journey. It's not static. You know, if your faith is static, then something's wrong, because then you're not growing. But hip hop, I mean, if you're ahead, then you're ahead. Like I don't want to say that they're separate, you know, because I think faith is all encompassing with, you know, who you are, but everyone in this group is a hip hop head. You know what I mean? Like we, you know, we're about that life. You know what I mean? Like we don't, so, and I think that was a big thing about this group. Like we're not a bunch of church kids that like grew up in the church and we're doing like the Christian version of this, you know, like, nah, we're hip hop heads, fam. Like we're B-boys and DJs and graph heads and MCs and this is what we do. And like, so when we go and, you know, our faith is just going to come through in everything we do. So when we go do our thing, we're just like anybody else. Like, you know, there ain't no, and I think that's part of the thing that's like corny about, you get this whole idea of like a Christian industry, you know, like that's corny, fam. Like there ain't no 5% rap. You know what I mean? Like there's just 5%ers that rap. You know what I mean? There's no Islamic, you know, bookstore where they sell only Islamic rappers, you know, like but you see that in this like Christian industry. And man, don't get me started because I go days about all that.
That's the analogy that I use. Like if you go to McDonald's, they're not gonna have no Christian cashier and a regular cashier. You a cashier, bro. Like you're not gonna be no French fry maker. You make French fries, bro. That happen to be a Christian. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
Why do we have to? Yeah. So that's So we kind of on the same page.
So I always used it like you know, to add on to what Justin was talking about. We're all hip hop heads, right? We were already, if we wasn't doing, you know, if we weren't in the box of being a Christian rapper or whatever, we was doing hip hop. You know what I mean? We was doing boom bap music. I always use the terminology, I'm not necessarily a Christian rapper, I'm a Christian that raps. So like my faith is what I believe. It also brings forth my consciousness. So if we're conscious rappers, people get consciousness from different places, right? Different sources. 5%ers get it from believing, you know, what they believe in, or, you know, whatever. We get it from believing that Jesus is our Lord and Savior, right? And we also, if there was one thing that I thought we always did was wear our heart on our sleeves. We never pretended to be anything other than we were, right? So like some of us cuss like sailors, right? You know, I hate to say it, but the intent is that we love people. The intent is that we believe that Christ is our Savior and we stand on that. But at the same time, we didn't have to throw that down people's throats. We just wanted to make some good hip hop music that somebody could relate to. You know what I mean? That I used to get crazy emails from all over the world saying that, you know, and it was a blessing. This is no ego at all, but you know, like to get a letter from somebody in Africa that said that my music touched them when I was really just reflecting what the heck I was going through, right? Like it was all self-reflection from, you know, my garbage in my heart. You know what I mean? And the things that were weighing me down. So that's a blessing that God allowed that to touch that person. But it wasn't my intent necessarily. It was really to get the garbage out of my heart and express myself. You know what I mean? So I just think we all, I mean, like I signed to a Christian rap label. I was on a Christian rap label. So it was like, it wasn't at all.
We were all on a Christian
rap.
Yeah,
we were all on Christian rap labels, right? But we probably were like one of the groups that probably made the least Christian type of music in a way. You know what I mean? So it was like, we definitely pushed boundaries for sure on that. I mean, I got on my Phone Emotion mixtape, I got all types of slack because I was going at them kids from Philly. And I ain't got to say the names or whatever, but I just remember being at the GMA and members of our group were trying to build with cats. And they were like, nah, we don't see you every day. We don't know what your habits are. We can't do music. We can't do music with you. And I remember I went in on the song. Like it didn't happen to me personally because I didn't want to do a song with them. But to see them shun people that I know had fantastic hearts, I had to go in on them. And I was told that was the most unchristian thing I could have did. But it's like I didn't care because that's not what I was doing, and we were expressing our true selves and who we were. We didn't really fit the box, man. So,
and you all touch people's lives. Even tonight on Facebook, Lance Riesbeck. Sorry if I got that that name wrong, Lance. He said the Scribbling Idiots have had a bigger impact on my faith than a lot of churches. Props to the SI crew.
Peace,
And I
peace
know
to
he's
him.
I know he's not the only one, so we appreciate that, Lance.
Lance is dope.
Yeah,
Lance is dope.
Lance is dope.
What
You know,
up,
No,
Lance?
that guy, man. Shout outs to Lance. Love you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, speaking of being in the Christian hip hop world, Joe has an excellent follow-up question that I'd love for you to ask Joe.
Yeah, so in the marketability world, I know there were a lot of artists that were like promoted as sounding like contemporary secular artists. If you like Biggie, you like so and so. If you like Tribe, you like so and so. So how did that marketing machine label Scribbling Idiots to say you guys sound like?
They didn't say we sounded like anybody. I didn't think.
I mean, I know that there are like marketing materials out there that say like, if you're a fan of blank, then you'll like this. But I'm trying to remember who it was that they put on there.
There was one that said Wu-Tang.
Nah, bro, I got you. They said, I remember when I first made the decision to walk the walk I'm walking, they was like, bro, if you like Jay-Z, then you will like the truth. Or if you like Lil Wayne, you will like Lecrae. And I'm like, bro, I don't like neither one of them, bro. Where does that leave me? You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to Jay-Z or Lil Wayne. I'm just like, bro, I don't listen to them like that. So I'm from a tribe. I'm from De La.
Right.
That's my lane. So where's the music for me? You know what I'm saying? And they would just look at me like, well, we don't have any more options for you. Like, those are the only ones. I'm like, well, I'm straight on that, bro. I'm gonna keep listening to what I'm listening to, bro.
If anything, we come from a heritage, right? So we're not compared. We come from a heritage. So we're from the family tree of native tongues. We're from the tree of hieroglyphics. We're from the tree of, even on our side that was even closer, tunnel rats. We're from a heritage, but we went out of our way. I would say we didn't sound like anybody. Nothing was comparable. You know what I mean?
I want to say this. When I first met Theo, we really bonded on the fact that we both love Redman. So if you listen to the way that we rap, it's a lot of times it's like Redman. It's never like Black Thought, right? Black Thought's raps are perfect. I want to go back and forth, right? I want to stop at the 3, end at the 1. I want to come back in the 2, but like it's so rhythmic. It's like, wow, okay, so like we really can, like when Theo collabed with Redman, it was like, yeah, man, because that's one of our favorites of all time.
Yeah.
I think Redman influenced everybody.
The dude is a scat artist. He scats.
Yeah. I don't remember seeing y'all on that list necessarily. I do remember seeing Theory Has Its Name on one of those. Don't listen. If you're a Christian, don't listen to these artists. And Theory's name was on that list. And I was like, what? How did Theo got on that list?
What did he do?
Wait, Theo, say that again. What?
There was a dude that came, I forget his name. There's a dude that came out and there was a big push for a while where it was like
Craig G. Lewis.
Yeah.
Yes, that dude. And there was a list, and I remember seeing
God.
Theory, and it was like, you should not listen to these, quote unquote Christian artists.
I remember who it was.
Theory Has It was on that list.
I remember who it was. It was if you like Master P, don't listen to him. Listen to Theory Has It.
That's definitely what it was.
Master P.
Hey, listen. I know we're getting late on time, and I do want to make sure that we highlight what y'all have going coming up or recently. Just Me, can you drop your movie? Freaking dude made a freaking movie. Can you tell us a little bit about that and where people can go to check out your movie?
So when Scribbling Idiots got off of our last tour where we were opening up for AC Alone, I got home and I'll be honest, I was like, I'm not feeling making music. I'm just like burnout. Don't want to make music. Yeah. And so I was like, I think I want to, write a movie script. I'm a writer. I think of myself as a writer. So I was like, I'm gonna write a screenplay. So my wife bought me a couple books and I wrote a screenplay. And the screenplay, I guess read pretty good. I showed it to some friends in the industry and stuff, and they were like, "This is good," like you're not gonna be able to sell it, but if maybe you can make it. So we did. We with our own money, we had no budget, we had no experience, and we just linked up with a bunch of our friends who also did not have experience. We hired a couple like real actors and stuff, and people who had a little bit of experience here and there, behind a camera or a boom mic, and we spent 2 weeks and we made a movie, and spent 2 weeks filming the movie, 2.5, and then and I spent the next 2 years teaching myself to edit the movie and color the movie, and then cleaning up a ton of really bad audio that we recorded during the movie. But it's a no budget, like kind of like old school throwback horror movie. It's quirky, it's weird, but that's the kind of stuff I like, and so that's what I made. And the cinematography was handled by my dude Deacon the Villain. My man Natty is in the movie.
Yep.
What's it called? What's it called?
It's called Last Holler, and you can watch it on Amazon Prime.
Yep.
Dope. Yeah, make sure you go check that out.
Go watch it
Super
now.
dope. Kaz Meta. Oh, go ahead, Io.
No, I was just asking just me. Can you type that in the chat? Like, so when I go search on Prime, it'll pop right up, Joe.
Kaz Meta, I know you have something dropping really soon, which is a statement that can always be true. But what do you have dropping here next?
Next up, we have the album. I have it right here. This is the vinyl for the Mere Mortals album that I made with Syntax the Terrific and DJ Sean P. It's put out. Alex putting it out. It comes out July 2nd. I think if you pre-ordered it from Alex Bandcamp, it started shipping like this week, and you can also get it on fatbeats.com.
Fat
which
Beats.
is always a good look.
It's super dope.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's called Mere Mortals, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, Mere Mortals, July 2nd.
Yep, Mere Mortals.
Make sure you get that.
Yep, July 2nd.
Cop the vinyl.
Yep.
Yes. Theory has it. What about you, man? I know you've been winning beat battles and been producing your butt off. What have you been working on lately, and what do you have coming up?
Man, it's so much. Right now, I'm trying to finish up like this deluxe version. Get ready to like release this longer version of my latest one. Y'all still ain't washing y'all hands.
Dope project.
I say I'm doing some stuff with Just Me and Shiesty under the name Gym Rats.
Let's go.
So we're all over that, SI is all over that.
Yo, that junk is gonna be incredible, for real. I swear to God, it might be the best SI record of all time.
So it's crazy, I had the opportunity to do all the beats for that, and just really be involved. I'm actually proud of the stuff I've been making lately, because it go back to what I was saying. I'm making stuff that I want to hear.
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
So, and to share that with Justin and Shiesty, and also Kaz, like, hit me up. He's working on, projects all the time. And so I've been lucky to, like, share what I want to hear, what I'm saying? And they've been picking it up and rocking. Cause I like to like hit play on something that I'm proud of. I don't, I go back and listen to my catalog, and I'm not proud of everything. You know what I'm saying? I am grateful. I am thankful and all of that. But like, you got that. I'm working with Chris Broussard, the ESPN commentator. Like
Nice.
he's dropping like a project where it's just like spoken words, sermons, style, and I did all the beats for that. And
Oh, nice.
um and they're kind of like in song format, kind of.
Mhm.
There's some like scratches here and there, and crazy transitions. Always working, always working, always working with other artists. So yeah, man, it's a lot. It's a lot going on. But that's next. Gym Rats, Chris Broussard, y'all still ain't washing your hands. Deluxe. So yeah.
Dope, dope. Thank you. Theory has it. Wonder Brown, anything you have coming up, or you want to chat it, get out there to the world?
Nothing artistically. I mean, I work on songs like every day, but I am going back to school to get my master's degree in counseling this fall.
Dope. That's
So,
dope.
That's what's up.
touch lives.
The-
One
There's-
way or another.
Yes, sir.
There's also a big announcement coming about the 13th the 13th anniversary of the Kings of Tragedy album. We're putting out a greatest hits. It's gonna be the greatest hits. We put out one album and we're gonna put out a greatest hits album.
It's
That's coming.
basically the same album.
Without the skits, just without the skits.
No, it's only the skits.
No.
It's only the skits.
Yo, Motion Plus, man, you got anything you want to tell the world about?
It's slow motion, man. Motion Plus is in slow motion mode.
Slow motion plus.
Better than no motion.
I'm just at a
Slow
point.
motion plus.
Motion Plus Aloe.
Motion slow.
I'm doing an album for Jim's Pool Room out of St. Louis. Also affiliated with F5 Records, but I've already told them I'm working on it at my leisure, basically. So.
Yeah.
I'm at a point in my life. I'm probably the oldest Scribbling Idiot member, right? So I'm 46 years old. I know I earned all these gray hairs, but it's like I put out, I don't know how many albums I got all together. If you count Scribbling Idiot albums, I think I got 15 albums, right? So like I felt like I've said a lot, and if it isn't significant, I don't want to say it anymore. And so I'm just gonna let it come as it comes. You know what I mean? So I don't know exactly when that's gonna be, but I've worked with Jim's Pool Room forever, and they understand my process and they believe in it. Mm-hmm. So I'm not gonna say when it's gonna come out, but hopefully towards the end of the year, probably.
Dope. Zoe Nichols, how about yourself? Anything you want to tell the world about that's happening in your life, musically or otherwise?
No, just making beats, man. Just making beats and musically, just making beats and trying to follow up Superposition, with something nice and solid. I've been working locally with my guys, Bob Ski and Hazmat. Shout out to Bob Ski and Hazmat. Hazmat, big shout out to my guy because I'm working with him and we're gonna put something together really soon. So, but yeah, I'm just trying to follow up that Superposition record. That's all, But
what about that modeling career though?
Other than that, yeah, just I'm working on my next pair of Yeezys, man. I'm working on purchasing my next pair, baby. So
Zoe got the crazy sneaker collection, right? I mean, it's like this dude got every Yeezy, he even got the Yeezys you ain't seen yet. They're like made out of moon rocks and stuff.
Hey man, I'm single. I have to be attractive. You know what I'm saying?
I see.
Somehow.
I see.
Don't get the Walmart knockoffs though.
Look at his backdrop, yo.
Nah, man. Let me show you. Let me get
Yeah,
that
he's
goat.
flossing.
Let me break out that goat. Let me break out that goat.
All right, y'all. I mentioned this earlier. This is the last thing we're gonna do. We're gonna make this pretty quick because we're getting low on time here. It's getting late. But we have a little segment that is going to be the most difficult thing that you've ever done in your life. And we have a little play-in intro here tonight, Profound. You ready?
Okay, party people in the house.
Let's get ready to rumble!
In this portion of the show, we'll show an assortment of hip-hop albums and challenge our guests to describe them in one word or less. Do you accept the challenge?
I do.
You do. All right, good. We got Thank you, Zoe, for showing us that. Appreciate
I'm
it.
sorry,
All
man.
right. So you
Real
heard
shit.
Profound. Here is the challenge. I'm gonna show you an album cover. You each have to say one word or less, one word that comes to your mind. That comes to your mind when you see this album. Okay, we're gonna go, and this is the order we're gonna go in. We're gonna go Zoe Nichols, Just Me, Theory Has It, Wonder, Motion, and Cast. We're gonna do that order every single time. All right. First album, Zoe Nichols, you're up first. This is Muddy Waters by Redman. One word. What's your word?
One word, just one word.
One word.
I already messed it up.
Life changing. All right, we'll give you a pass.
How
We'll
about
give you a pass.
wait. Crack.
Crack. Okay, there we go. Just Me.
Fun.
Theory Has It.
Dang.
Wonder Brown.
Wait, I'm last? I thought I was last.
Nah, you're fourth.
Oh. Rock the spot.
More than one word, you lose. Motion Plus.
Classic.
Kaz Meta.
Funky.
All right, next one. Soul Food by Goody Mob. Zoe Nichols.
Grease.
Grease. Just Me.
Spiritual.
Theory Has It.
The GPS.
Wonder Brown.
Blow.
Motion Plus.
Enlightening.
Kaz Meta.
Classic.
Classic. I love it. All right, here we go. Next one. 93 to Infinity by Souls of Mischief. Zoe Nichols.
Fine.
Just Me.
Perfection.
Theory Has It.
Teachers.
Oh, good. Wonder Brown.
That's it.
Oh, he did it in less than one word. There you go. Motion Plus.
Innovative.
Kaz Meta.
Styles.
Nice. All right, just a
Hey,
few
what
more here.
did Nichols say?
I said pine, as in like the smell of pine tree, pine.
That's a dope video. All right, here we go. Experience by Tunnel Rats. Zoe Nichols.
Oh, wow.
Wow. There we go.
Wow.
Just Me.
Mentors.
Theory Has It.
OG.
Wonder.
Grandparents.
Motion.
Groundbreaking.
Kaz Meta.
I don't know if I ever heard that record.
Oh,
Whoa.
Word.
Man, all them road trips.
Unheard.
Dude,
All right, we got two more. Resurrection by Common.
Oh, man.
Ooh, Soul.
Just Me.
Favorite.
Theory.
Dad.
Wonder Brown.
Watermelon.
Motion.
I hate that Wonder just said that because I was going to say the same thing. That's my favorite
Got
song.
him.
Got him.
Illinois. What?
Kaz, have you heard this one?
Yeah, man. That's
I'm just messing with you, man.
Midwest.
Midwest. All right, one more. The Have-Nots by the Scribbling Idiots. Zoe.
Born.
Just Me.
Trash.
Theory Has It.
Initiation.
Wonder Brown.
Ah.
Motion.
Foundation.
Kaz.
Brotherhood.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We don't have time for this last one, but this is the greatest affiliated album that was ever been released. This is a phenomenal album.
Standard.
King's a tragedy right there. Listen, fellas, I really appreciate all of you being on tonight, and it's been a lot of fun. Thanks for sticking with us here. Almost clocking in at 2 hours, man. I appreciate all of you.
Wow.
Any
I gotta
last-
work in the morning.
Last words you want to sign off with, fellas?
I love you guys.
Yeah, love y'all too,
Much
man.
love.
Love y'all. Thank you all for having us.
Big love
Thank
to
you. Thank
you
you,
and
MC
everybody.
Till.
Yes.
Thank
Big
you,
up to
everybody.
everybody who
Ironically
watched.
profound. Yo, everybody.
Devil. Joe.
Nope.
Yeah.
Everybody, Joe.
Till.
Yo.
Word up.
Word up.
Ironically.
Listen, if you're
everybody.
Yeah, thank you all. If you're listening in, all of our podcast listeners and Facebook listeners, next Thursday we're gonna be back with a legend in hip hop. We're super excited to welcome Carter P. If you don't know Carter P, you're gonna get to know him next Thursday. So please come back for that. And I guess on that note, we say peace.